meaningful way to all of you. However, when I reflected back upon my life, I realized that it resonates well with the theme rising above the horizon. And that is when I decided to share my life journey with you all. And I'm sure it will resonate to a lot of you in relatable ways. Now, what is a horizon? A horizon is a point where the earth meets the sky, a distant line that seems to define our limits. But in life, there is always something beyond the horizon and something beyond our limits. We have reached the moon, launched several satellites in space. This itself is a scientific proof that nothing is impossible in our lives. A few decades back, it was next to impossible for us to connect with anybody who is sitting far off through our phone or capture an image itself. Today, it has become a reality and a routine for all of us. You see, when you think beyond the horizon, nothing is unachievable. When you think, when you have an imagination, it can be turned into reality if you put a lot of efforts towards it. Similarly, in my life as well, I don't see the horizon as an end, but as a beginning, as it provides a lot of opportunities and a sea of challenges. Whether it be technology or in life, we must always rise beyond the horizon and strive. When I started my career, I was happily working in a company as a 9 to 6 employee. I thought that this was my world and I was happy in my comfort zone. But deep down, I knew that something was missing as I could not contribute in any way directly towards the society. Instead, I was working for someone else for a fixed monthly paycheck, brushing aside my dreams. The horizon that I had seen within myself as a child, was something that was fascinated towards the sky, army, and technology. However, I was not putting in any efforts towards my journey, towards my dreams. I was happy in my comfort zone and did not look beyond the horizon. Life shook me hard when I was fired from my job. I thought the world came down on me. I was devastated. The reason quoted was performance issues, and I started doubting myself and my worth and my life itself. I didn't have the courage to rise above the horizon, but I garnered some bare minimum courage to re-enter the job market, and in my new job I thrived. I was promoted. I led a team of 15 members across Mumbai, New York, and London. And I thought this was the pinnacle of my career. But that pinnacle didn't last too long. As again, after a few years, I was laid off. You see, some companies have a toxic work culture of hiring and firing employees at their own whims. It does not have something to do with your self-worth. Never ever look down upon yourself when you are faced with similar challenges in your life. Always think that there is something better coming up your way. But at that moment, I doubted myself even more. I even doubted my existence itself. I spent sleepless nights crying over my wife's shoulder. And sometimes I couldn't even control crying before my child. My daughter is a specially abled child and she cannot utter a word. But she is the one who understands me the most in this world. She is my support system. Looking at her gives me the strength. So after a gap of 11 months, I started working again. But within a year, COVID struck us and my old fears started to resurface. Many businesses were destroyed and families were separated during COVID times. This shook me really hard. and I thought this was the time to look beyond the horizon and not only empower myself but to empower others as well. That is when the idea of starting my company, my drone technology company, started back in 2023 with a vision brewed during COVID times. When I started, I wasn't the most knowledgeable person in the room, but I was most curious. I knew that the skills that were not there within me can be learned, and I learned them. I put in efforts to learn technical skills. I learned about the industry, the opportunities, the challenges that lie, and how can I explore it to the fullest possible way. Fear of failure was always there at the back of my mind, but I persevered. I learned new skills. I networked with the right set of people as I had to build something from scratch. So, today I want to share with you all three key horizons that we must all look beyond: the horizon of innovation, the horizon of personal growth, and the horizon of compassion and inclusion. Each one of these has played a pivotal role in my life, and I hope that by end of this talk, you'll all be inspired to look beyond your horizon and find strength to rise above them. Let's talk about innovation. At my company, innovation is the driving force behind everything that we do. Innovation is never easy. It's not a straight line. It's a path filled with challenges, failures, and unexpected breakthroughs. When my company started back in 2023, we had a vision of becoming the best homegrown drone technology company. With cutting edge innovations, we are rapidly moving towards our ambitions. When we started our swarm drone technology, many in the industry doubted us as it involves complex artificial intelligence based tasks where hundreds of drones communicate with each other in real time to complete tasks. We knew that beyond the horizon of skepticism lies our success. There were many nights that me and my team spent working over the technical failures. All the failures was not a defeat, but it was a lesson learned the hard way. Today, I can proudly say that my company is a leading swarm drone technology in India. We are set to revolutionize the way Indian armed forces work. By the end of 2025, we aim to introduce a swarm drone technology to the Indian Army. The success that we have garnered didn't come overnight. It took persistence. So you see, to rise above the horizon of innovation, you don't need perfection. You need persistence. The journey of rising above the horizon isn't limited to the world of technology. When we talk about the horizon of personal growth, my most profound lessons have come from my own struggles as an employee and particularly as a father. 9 years ago, when my daughter was born, I was thrilled and excited. But it was very short-lived when I learned that she was diagnosed as specially abled. It was a very challenging phase for me as I had to balance between my career and the responsibility of raising a child who required constant attention and care. It felt that I was failing from all ends. Every day, my daughter faces challenges that most of us would never ever imagine. I still remember the days where she used to cry in pain, agony during our physiotherapy sessions. But she taught me something incredible. We should not run away from our difficulties. Rather, we should face them with grace and determination. So, these were the lessons that I learned from her. It's all about persistence. So when you persist, you can succeed in your life. When we talk about the horizon of compassion and inclusion, I don't shy away from saying that my daughter has taught me all these values. My past experiences and struggles have taught me that every individual has something or the other to contribute towards this world. My struggles as an employee when I was terminated taught me that you should not treat your employee with disrespect. Rather, you should treat them with respect. You should not treat them as if they are replaceable. So all the learnings and the experiences have taught me and shaped me the way I lead at my company. The sad demise of associate at a the sad demise of an associate at a leading accounting firm reminds us that we should treat our employees with dignity and compassion. At my company, we believe that the future is not something that happens to us, but it is something that we create or build together. That is why we are working closely with innovators. We are working closely with universities like IIT Jammu, various research institutions, and young budding entrepreneurs to help them rise above their horizon. So these are the three key horizons that I wanted to share with you all today and how it has shaped me and my company in a better way. As I close, I want to share a thought with you. Rising above the horizon is not something that we do ourselves, but it is something that we do together. Whether it be technology, inclusion, or anything else, we rise by uplifting others. The horizon is something that is constantly moving and expanding, and we need to move with it and go beyond it, challenge our assumptions, and build a world that is more better, more compassionate than what it is today. At my company and in my personal life, I am committed towards this journey. Through compassion, through perseverance, through resilience and a purpose, we can all rise above the horizon and build a better world than what it is today. Thank you for your time, attention, and patience.